a little thing for a film in which Mr. Amitabh Bachchan was there. And he had a dialogue which was almost like 15 minutes or something.
Wow.
Just,
Yeah.
and he is such a great artist
Yeah.
and he did it in one shot and everybody clapped. And I told my dancers, look at that. You know, this is something you have to emulate. He just in one shot.
Yeah.
What is the big deal, sir? We remember 1 hour's dance.
Oh yeah. No, you.
Yeah, there is a problem. See, for example, to do a production,
Yes.
it probably costs you 25 or 50 lakhs.
Yes.
If you sell the ticket, house full,
Yeah.
10 days,
Yeah.
how much will you earn?
Tell me.
Yeah. See,
Because you were a founder in 2001,
yes.
and you were a startup. And now after so many years, you're doing really well.
Yes.
But how do your sales pitch must be tough, man.
No, see, there is a difficulty in terms of the market
Yeah.
and art form. So, but everything cannot be for market culture. The ideas of going to a gymnasium or training in dance, dance in India too,
Yes.
was one of the essential things of being a civilized person.
That's super true.
Yeah. This is an investment in idea.
Yes.
So this is not about selling the product.
And you're sure it's a sustainable idea?
No, it is very sustainable. Yeah.
Why will someone go to a theater to watch dance?
No.
To watch another human being dance? It's almost in the age of Instagram,
Yeah.
people are getting free performances. There's entertainment everywhere. We are living in a renaissance of entertainment.
Yes.
And then to get sensitive performances where you
see,
what is the branding problem in dance in India?
In a way, it can really help. And I think the moment you don't have any nervousness, what you call as a fright,
Yeah.
then you shouldn't go on stage.
You shouldn't.
No, because even Ravi Shankar or people like that who have performed thousands and thousands of
Yes.
times, they said the moment you don't feel nervous about your next performance,
Yeah.
then you should stop. Then you are blasé.
Oh, so you're saying you should feel.
You should feel a little bit. Yeah.
Wow.
Even because I used to be.
Amazing. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to this really special episode of Art History Plus. We have with us Mr. Jayachandran Palazhy himself.
Palazhy.
Palazhy, I'm not Malayali, so I'm sorry, but that's what he said. And I have a bunch of questions, and some of them are. See, this man has been documented really well. You can go on YouTube, you can go on Instagram. He's spoken. He has a lot of responsibility. He's the founder of the Attakkalari Center of Movement in India or internationally.
In Bangalore, we are based in Bangalore, but work internationally.
Now, my first question is, don't take it the wrong way,
Yeah.
but in the age of Michael Jackson, Uptown Funk, Dance India Dance, and so many things where people are just dancing all over the world and the world relatively seems a little happy, how do you have only 1,000 followers on Instagram? And what does that mean? Michael Jackson had 3.4 million.
Yes.
I mean, he's Michael Jackson, but
Absolutely.
you're no less.
No.
And so I want to understand what is happening in the Indian hypersensitive movement. I also have a question about why you call it movement.
Yeah.
You say dance sometimes, you say movement sometimes. I want to understand this nuance.
Yeah. See, the idea of dance, sometimes people have preconception.
Yeah.
You know, like take it for visual art or sonic art or any of culinary arts. So they kind of are able to encompass many things. So I feel in dance, when you say dance, people can often think about anklet, makeup, or if it is in the Western tradition, tutus and point shoes, ballet shoes and all that. No? So instead of this preconception, I want to put the movement at the center of this art form. So that's why I call it movement arts. So it's not restricted to what we know, quote unquote, dance movement, but whether the movement comes from martial art or body care system or sports or day-to-day life.
Body care system.
Yeah,
Can you
which is like yoga or any Pilates or any other kind of practice.
I was seeing your diploma course.
Yeah,
You have injury protection.
yeah,
You have like subjects which I would not have included or even have considered
Yeah.
as, I mean, it almost seems like a sport, you know, where like footballers have a sports psychiatrist and they have injury prevention.
Yes.
You really respect the human body, don't you?
Absolutely, because I think I remember ages ago. I mean, he was a good officer, but probably didn't have much idea. He was the head of South Zone Cultural Center. This is like a for 3.5 decades ago. Went to meet him, government official, IAS officer, and told him that we need to have a dance floor with a sprung dance floor, which means wooden floor, and then put on top of it linoleum, so that the impact can be absorbed and not go into the joints and ruin your joint. So he was telling me, why do you have to have a floor like that? We used to dance on the mud, and that was
And we are fine.
And then it was here at his home.
Yeah.
I said we used to live in the treetops and the cave, but now we have all these things,
That's true.
So then he understood. Yeah, now I get it.
That's true.
So it's true. I think that idea of taking care of the body, if you are working with the body, is important. But if you look at Kathakali or Kalarippayattu, these traditions have got a brilliant body care system. They have all the rainy season massage and preparing the body, and special food, rest, and all of that, and that sort out the performer's body. But when we came to the cities, these traditions went away, and people built really concrete floor, which is actually absolutely crazy, really bad.
So when you practice, what is your studio like? And also, how is your health?
My health is good.
Because you take care of everybody else in your college.
Yes.
And I don't know if anyone asks you whether are you fit? Do you have any? I mean, you look super fit.
No.
But
See, I would have liked to have more time to take care of my kind of physical need. Like, for example, I used to do a lot of practice, a lot of preparations, and nowadays I don't get that much time for that because you are stretched in many directions. But still, I when I rehearse and everything, I definitely want to be on the floor.
What is your practice like? Like for yourself? Like have you lost yourself over taking so much responsibility? Like you started a foundation. You in 2001.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, as an artist, you gave your 100%.
Yeah.
And there's a line in one interview you gave somewhere where you said that fire with you have to just give one more performance.
Yeah.
It comes from within. And
Yeah.
I was like, you almost sounded like a painter or a, like you sound like an artist who's ready to go on stage right now.
Yeah. See, dance is not a representation, but a presence. So you become your artwork.
Can you explain that, please?
So, for example, in traditional forms, you depict something. You are say, okay, this is a flower or this is a bee. Instead, in contemporary dance, what we are doing is we are becoming the presence.
Yes.
Yeah, we are the artwork. So we are not representing something else. We are just saying what is happening to us emotionally, physically, design-wise, and in terms of spatial proportions, or in terms of energy. All of these ideas together, what we call is a sensorial narrative.
Yeah.
Not a literal narrative where we are telling a story. It's a sensorial narrative.
And who's putting these ideas in your mind as a young child?
Well,
because everyone in India,
yeah.
I'm going to say something very crude. People don't know you.
No.
I'm going to say people don't know you.
Yeah.
Because I'm with Inlats in the past, India is a large country.
Yeah.
There is a lot of talent.
Absolutely.
I wish the world for you.
Yes.
But I want to understand why or when will the Attakkalari Center of Movement become like an institution like Kathakali or Mohiniyattam. How many years does it take? Because there must be someone like you. I'm getting the chance to speak to you.
Yeah.
I don't have the chance to speak to the founder of Mohiniyattam.
Yeah.
But you are here with me right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I have a two-part question.
Yes.
One is, when does the artist become the administrator and have that vision to say that I'm going to set up shop and I'm going to set up culture now? But that also means that you have to lose yourself somewhere. Like you have to say, okay, less of my performances. I have to hire 20 people, their administrative issues, their responsibility, payment, salaries. You lose yourself as an artist, don't you?
I mean, you have a point to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But if you look at even visual artists, like
Yeah.
for example, I used to live very close to Anish Kapoor's studio in London.
Shake hands on that topic. That's amazing. I made a film on him for the Kochi Biennale.
Yeah. So, for example, people like him have got many other people
Yeah.
working for him. So, it is not about enacting the things you have in your mind with yourself,
Yes.
but actually animating that in space. So, that could be with many bodies, or 2 or 3 bodies, or people who do not, people who haven't danced before.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. It depends on the idea, and the idea, what needs the idea. The content will dictate the language, the form.
Yes.
So the content is important. So that's that's the problem with when some people who are only trained in the classical dance, because classical dance was born at a particular time in history, at a particular place, and perfected over centuries. Beautiful,
Yes.
and it has got so much semiotic wisdom in it, and which I really value and everything. But if you have to create a new language, you can't, like for example, you can't write a short story in ancient Sanskrit language or Latin. You develop your own language, and you read Garcia Marquez or Kundera or Coetzee or whatever, and then that gives you an open mind. So same way, like for example, I remember the time, like you, coming back to your question, what prompted you to think about all these things? Say, when I was 7 or 8.
My question is because the West has offered you a lot.
Yes.
So what has India offered the world? My question is not a question about whether I'm sure you're an amazing gentleman.
Yeah.
My question is, what have we as Indians?
Yeah.
I run Artistry Plus to bring out the best of you
Yeah.
to the people.
Yeah.
What has India offered the world?
India has offered,
As a byline of that question, earlier question. which I
yeah,
was
like for
asking.
example, India has offered as a philosophy. Half of the world used
In
to
dance. I meant
Yeah,
dance.
in dance. I mean, if you look at
What's the contribution?
if you look at Balinese dance or Thai dance or a dance form in Cambodia, there is a relationship to India.
Yes.
Our culture was quite an important thing. But what we probably haven't done is actually how to organize ourselves, how to discipline ourselves.
And that's what Attakkalari.
Well, we are trying. We are trying.
This is the moment we say, everybody please check out Attakkalari Center Dance Movement,
Okay.
where they have organized everything. If you want to take 1 second and 1 minute and explain what you do at Attakkalari Center
See,
to the people, it'll be great.
yeah. See, for example, imagine you want to make a curry.
Yeah.
You have to have different ingredients. You decide what you want it to be.
Yes.
And if you have a dinner with multiple curries, then you have to think of many things.
Yes.
So, for example, Attakkalari is a bit like that. Creating, that's why we call it rasa. The theory of Natyashastra, creating rasa, or that feeling in the audience, or between the audience and the performer. So at Attakkalari, we have training program, education program, both professional and also community programs, outreach program. There we have a mobile academy going to colleges and universities. We have a diploma program for professional dancers. We have a production side of it. We have something called ICAM, our kind of a center for creation and prototyping new work. So where is international artists or Indian artists come there for a period of time. We give all the facility, studio facilities, technical support, administrative support, marketing support, then produce that work in a prototype way, because we have got a little theatre, we have got 3 studios and a little theatre and a cafe and a technical services.
That's
as well.
amazing. That's amazing.
So then we also do a biennial festival. The festival is the importance is one thing you train and you do this thing, but you cannot be in an isolation, in your own silo. So we wanted to showcase the best of dance available in the world, so that people think about new ideas that catalyze new things. So if you look at today in India, if you look at who are making any mark in contemporary dance,
Can you name two?
yes, definitely. There are, say for example, at Attakkalari itself, there is a Hema Bharati. She has won some international awards. There are people like Preeti Atreya. There are people like Padmini Chetu. There
I
are
just met Padmini Chetul.
I don't know whether she's there.
Who?
Oh, that was Mayuri.
Mayuri.
Mayuri. And there is Abhilash Ninjappa. There is Diya Naidu. There are many people.
Why don't I know their names?
See,
What is the branding problem in dance in India?
No, I'll tell you.
There's a TV show called Dance India Dance.
Yes.
My grandmother used to watch it.
Yes.
My mother-in-law used to watch it.
Yeah.
Neighbors used to watch it.
Yes.
Nobody's watching your show.
No.
What is happening? How do we fix this? I'm totally in your team.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's a branding problem. I'm saying there is a organizational problem. My question about why doesn't my chachi in America know you?
Yeah. There is a problem. See, for example, to do a production,
Yes.
it probably costs you 25 or 50 lakhs.
Yes.
If you sell the ticket, house full,
Yeah.
10 days,
Yeah.
how much will you earn?
Tell me.
Yeah, say for example, maybe 3 or 4 lakhs.
Get on the economics of it. I also want to ask you, what is your relationship with money? I ask all these artists.
Yeah.
Now that you've
No, so say, world over, if you look at whether it is ballet companies, opera companies, contemporary dance company, this is an investment in idea.
yes,
So this is not about selling the product.
and you're sure it's a sustainable idea?
No, it is very sustainable idea because it needs for a society. You know, like Judith, the American philosopher said, where one body ends, the other body begins. And so it is that connectivity and collectivity of the society, and where dance plays an important role. In our culture, whether it's Kudiyattam artists or the Bharatanatyam dancers, it used to be called as Sadir. So they were all had support either from the temple or from the Raja.
Yes.
And now all disappeared. And who is our present day Raja? The government or the corporates? Or rich individual?
I know what you're trying to say.
No,
you as a contemporary dancer, I'm going to ask you point blank.
Yep.
Do you think Bharatanatyam is dead?
I wouldn't say it is dead. See,
I will say it is dead.
No.
I'll put my line out and say that I have a feeling that Bharatanatyam, unfortunately, and I'm saying this unfortunately, I have people in my family who do Bharatanatyam.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's boiled down to a hobby, and it really hurts my heart to know that people who have invested hours and hours and hours of practice, people have stopped seeing it as riyas, people have stopped seeing it as a philosophy. People are watching your shows, not your shows, they're watching dance in general. Everybody on Instagram is dancing for free. Why will someone go to a theatre to watch dance to watch another human being dance? It's almost, in the age of Instagram, people are getting free performances. There's entertainment everywhere. We are living in a renaissance of entertainment.
Yes.
And then to get sensitive performances where you sit down and you're offering courses, how do you sell that to a larger audience?
With a great difficulty, I can admit
I'm
that.
assuming it must be tough.
Yeah. See,
because you were a founder in 2001.
Yes.
And you were a startup, and now after so many years you're doing really well.
Yes.
But your sales pitch must be tough, man.
No, see, there is a difficulty in terms of the market and art form. So, but everything cannot be for market.
Sure.
Yeah. So, for example, if you are investing in medicine, it's not about sellability.
Yeah. There's also research and
There are different reasons for it. Because if we need to have a fuller life, a life that's worth living, then you need to have these embodiments.
Art and culture is
arts and culture, particularly dance. So that's why if you look at Mayan culture, if you look at old Greek culture, the ideas of going to a gymnasium or training in dance in ancient India too was one of the essential things of being a civilized person.
That's super true.
Yeah. So that embodiment, the world is not outside of ourselves. The world, we should be able to embody it out in ourselves. And the moment we lose it, we are alienated. And then we are like this body taking our head to meetings. No,
That's yeah.
So we should be embodying. It's not thinking only through head, but also through the body and memories. And this is very important. I remember. I tell you one thing. I was choreographing a little thing for a film in which Mr. Amitabh Bachchan was there, and he had a dialogue which was almost like 15 minutes or something.
Wow.
Just,
Yeah.
And he is such a great artist, and he did it in one shot, and everybody clapped. And I told my dancers, look at that. You know, this is something you have to emulate. He just in one shot.
Yeah.
What is a big deal, sir? We remember 1 hour's dance.
Oh yeah.
True.
True.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Because it was good for me to value that.
Yeah.
They remember 1 hour of movement. You ask a common man to do 1 hour movement, remembering.
How do you do that? That's so true. I had an epiphany right now.
Yeah.
How
Absolutely. It is an epiphany. Because I think the idea is, you don't only think through your mind.
To have 1 hour muscle memory
Yes. This is the key.
is
And not only 1 hour, many productions
Many
you will have. Yeah.
yeah. And if you are successful,
Yeah.
like fortunately, unfortunately, successful,
Yeah.
then you have to have muscle memory for different producers and different shows.
Absolutely. So imagine you living a life.
Yeah.
Because, say for example, I love sushi. I love Thai food. People who have grown up on idli or roti or chawal,
Yeah.
they haven't eaten these things, which doesn't mean this food is not good.
That's true.
So what I'm saying is, we are making our lives very puerile
Yeah.
by not engaging with our own art form, our own history, our own lineage, because then we are lesser of a human being.
In your course, you teach history of dance.
Of course,
Yeah.
we do. We do not only dance, but actually not only dance from India, but also dance from and the history of the dance, but also history of arts and aesthetics.
Yeah.
Because there is a continuum, no? And if you look at the visual
You
art,
teach Arthashastra and all of that.
Not well. There is a philosophy.
Natya
class-
Shastra.
Natya Shastra. Arthashastra is about economics,
Yeah.
but there is a philosophy lesson for people, and I'm just saying within that period, how much we can is only scratching the surface.
True.
Because 8 o'clock with the class begins,
Yeah.
and it goes until 5:30, 6 o'clock.
You're a teacher.
Yes, I also teach.
You also teach.
Yeah, because I think
And that hasn't changed you.
when you teach,
Time.
you become a better artist.
Yeah. We also learn.
Yeah, we learn. Not say for example, if you perform to a little children,
Yeah.
then you learn how they perceive your work.
Yeah.
In philanthropy, say that it's not the reality that matters; it's the perception that matters.
In philanthropy.
Philanthropy,
Yeah.
we say for example, you giving this thing, or what it matters for the receiver, what is their perspective.
Yeah.
So I think this is true for dance as well. Dance, in a simple word, I'm just telling you. It's our in Indian dance, for example, our effort is to imagine a kind of performative body that goes beyond your physicality, your physical contours of the body. So in relating every molecules of your body relating to the larger space. So you become the center of a larger reality. So if you say somebody jumps so high, how much a person can jump, but it's that idea of suggestion.
It makes you imagine that through the dance form.
Yeah, and that is Immanuel Kant, people like that said no, the idea of sublime.
Yeah.
When the reality is much bigger, so you can give the sublime. And if a child is about to fall, you run to catch, because you have that empathy, because of the mirror neurons.
Yeah.
And dance, if you develop that empathetic self, you will receive dance beautifully.
That's amazing. Very well said. I have one question which I always wanted to ask a dancer. You're the perfect person to ask.
Yes.
I have stage fright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have stage fright because I have a sense of self. Because I exist, I am on stage.
Yeah.
I will fail.
Yeah.
I will. That's why I have fright.
Yeah.
You are a dancer.
Yeah.
You're not just on stage.
Yeah.
You are the best on stage.
Yeah.
So you're diametrically opposite to me.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of self? Have you crashed your ego? Or when you dance, are you another human being? Are you another character, and so you are not yourself? Can you break down psychologically?
Yeah. Say,
And do you have stage fright at this stage in your life? Like I'm as a painter, when I have a blank canvas, even today, I get a little scared to see the blank canvas. Do you get, I don't know what's the technical word, but do you get stage fright, or do you get like, oh my god, I don't know what to do? You know, writers are getting writer's block. Do dancers get, I don't know what's it called? It's called dancer's block.
no, I would say the kind of a little nervousness.
Yes.
It's not fright, but you're nervous about something.
Not at your level, I understand. But
No, but see, I think.
can you train your students to not have stage fright, or by just do it?
Well, see, the breathing is a good example. So every movement, if you are doing with breath, then it is much more easier. And that is one good thing India has contributed through yoga. I mean, if you look at that many hundreds of years ago, how they could think about such a beautiful system is quite mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So, but we are only now valuing it probably in a kind of a funny way.
From the wide gaze.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
but actually there is much more to it,
Yeah.
and that in a way can really help. And I think if the moment you don't have any nervousness, what you call as a fright,
Yeah.
then you shouldn't go on stage.
You shouldn't.
No, because even Ravi Shankar or people like that who have performed thousands and thousands of
Yes.
times, they said the moment you don't feel nervous about your next performance,
Yeah.
then you should stop. Then you are blasé.
Oh, so you're saying you should feel.
You should feel a little bit. Yeah.
Wow.
Even, because I used to be also an athlete. I used to run 400 meter, 800 meter. Used to play shuttle badminton.
That's
And-
amazing.
and,
That's why you're so fit.
and cricket.
Like,
I was
you
a
dance.
wicket keeper, for example.
Yeah.
So even now, when I see the 100 meter start,
Yeah.
I get that feeling.
Yeah.
You know, there is two muscles in your body, which we call it pre-movement. You know what they are?
Pre-movement.
Which muscle will act first?
Eyeball.
No. Your
Tongue.
calf muscle and your tummy, your core
Gut.
muscle.
Your gut. Yeah. Yeah.
The core muscles.
Yeah.
These are the ones who tightens first before you act.
Yeah.
And this is important because this is
Wow.
the idea of
Oh, you teach anatomy also in your course.
yes.
Yes.
we
Ah,
do.
sorry,
We-
continue.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
So the idea is dance is not about how you perfect a movement. Dance is born in your imagination. Then you gather the resources, whether your physicality or whether your other art forms like lights or costumes or set or designer, composer, all of that. You assemble all of that to kind of realize your vision. So first
Amazing.
is the imagination.
Yeah.
That's the key
Amazing.
thing. That's the key.
You spoke about your past. We are about to at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
At the end of the podcast, I want to go at the beginning of your career.
Yeah.
You were a physics student.
Yeah.
Did you apply any kinetic motion, potential energy, kinetic energy concepts in any of your performance?
Yeah.
Because I'm a physics student myself. One of my favorite subjects.
Yes.
I love physics.
Yeah.
Not quantum physics now,
Yeah.
just classical,
Yeah.
four-dimensional, three-dimensional physics.
Yeah.
And did you like?
It's very important for dancers to know physics and biology.
Yeah.
Physics, for example,
Like inertia.
for example, physics, for example, is to understand the momentum. So, for example, if you are going on a handstand and the mass of, because this is your contact,
Yes.
the mass of the body from here is only this much.
Yes.
But with the momentum,
Yeah.
you can transfer much more weights there
Yes.
and then balance it like that. So this idea of how the movement is initiated, how it passes through your body,
Yes.
how it reaches and how it goes beyond your body is very, very important for dancers. And I think we at Attakkalari teach that idea, how you, in every moment, you engage your kind of core muscles
Yeah.
and then activate the body, but be in a relaxed state. Always use the breath. Don't hold the breath, either breathe in or breathe out.
Yeah.
When you hold the breath or when you start to breathe very quickly, that means you're tense.
This I think applies to anybody who's doing it. One last question.
Yes.
You're damn successful. Were you ever anybody's employee? Do you have? You don't seem to have employee mentality. I ask all artists
Yeah.
the question about what is the relationship with money, and were they ever were they ever, did they have 100% agency? And were they ever somebody's employee? Like, did you ever dance on somebody else's tune? You get what I'm saying psychologically? Like, did somebody ever say, Jayachandran, go and do that? And you're like, no, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to dance to my own tune. Or did you all be like, okay, sir, peso ke liye I have to right now do this? Oh,
I've never done anything for money.
you never know.
No. I think money is a byproduct of your dedication,
Right,
your
yeah.
commitment. So, for example, I had one time I was first in the school.
Yeah.
So I had 4 national scholarships.
Yeah.
So I could choose whichever way to.
Born genius,
No, not like that.
humble
but,
brag.
No, that
joking.
that was the truth.
Yeah.
So it was, but the moment I went to the university,
Yeah.
I never went to class.
Yeah.
So I was always in the sports or go to the
Yeah.
dance class or things like that. But I never performed during the college time. But it was almost like a
Yeah, I read
clandestine activity.
your first performance, did something got shut, and so you couldn't perform, and so
Yeah.
you had to wait one whole year.
Yeah. So it is always the idea of perfecting oneself,
Yes.
and the performance came second.
Yeah.
And I think when I was 7 or 8, I used to stand in front of the mirror and imitate the dance forms I have seen.
Amazing.
But that nobody told me, but it just came from within.
Yeah.
And that kind of I pursued.
And no one in society teased you because you said in one interview, as a man, I've been dancing, and but you never spoke what the outcome of that was for you psychologically. Like, people were not ready for men to dance maybe or move the way you did. Did you have that feeling, or were you so confident or so good that everyone was like, look at that guy?
No, see, I luckily got a very good teacher who himself was a kind of like even Kamal Hassan has said
Yeah.
about him, Dhananjayan.
Yes.
So he was the
Okay.
hero in Kalarippayattu. So I remember when I went to Chennai to do my advanced studies in dance, I stayed in one lodge at
Yeah.
that time, and then every morning I will take bus to go to different
Wow.
teachers
Yeah.
to search for which is the teacher.
Find my teacher.
Yeah,
You were
when
looking for a guru.
Yeah, then I went to everybody. Padma Subramanian, Chitra Sitchishwaran, Kalakshetra, Lakshmi Vishwanathan, Adayar Lakshmana, everybody. But finally, I went to Dhananjay and I said, yeah, this is my teacher.
Can you be my teacher?
Yes. And she said, he thought I am from Iran.
Oh.
Because I had a United Arab Emirates t-shirt. And when I spoke he said, when you open your mouth, I know where are you from.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's nice.
So,
I had a great chat, sir, with you.
yeah, thank you.
It's really nice.
Lovely to see you.
If you could be kind enough to please say like, comment, and subscribe to Art History Plus.
Yes. Please do subscribe, all of you.
Subscribe, man. Subscribe.
Yes.
it's a new world out there.
Yes.
Like, comment, subscribe, and keep dancing.
Keep dancing. That's the key.
That's true.
If you dance, you live. Otherwise, you are not living.
Wow. Wow. You gave some real hardcore advice. It was a great interview. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.